Hey YouTube, Joshua the Window Cleaner here for another giveaway night. Here we are on Friday night once again. I hope you are excited. We got some cool giveaway tools, and I just received a box today with a whole bunch of new giveaway tools that we're going to be showing. We're going to be showing the tools a little bit different tonight. I actually have a video prepared for you, so you'll be able to see all the tools that we're going to have for giveaway night. But first, I just want to introduce my secretary, Melissa. If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you know me and how you got started working with me a little bit, and then we'll jump into what tools we have to give away tonight.
Sure. Hi, everyone. So I actually met Josh a few years ago, and we kind of exchanged information because he first started out here in California and was looking for someone to make shirts for him. And for my side business, I actually made that connection with him. And so that's kind of how our friendship kind of started. And then as far as me working for Josh, it's very uh, it kind of fell into place because I was pregnant at the time. COVID hit. It was completely depressing. But then I reached out to Josh and I told him, if you were looking for a secretary, I would totally apply for that job. And he just said, when can you start? So that's kind of how our journey started.
Yep. So, yeah, it's been a cool journey for sure. And I remember when you messaged me and you told me like, hey, like I would love to be your secretary, and I was looking for a secretary. I had just let my prior secretary go back in February, so it worked out perfectly. I had to work through the summer and be my own secretary and stay up late and do all the stuff that you do now. And there was a time where I thought like, I don't know if I'll have 40 hours for her to do, but I tell you what, I can find 40 hours and some every week for you to do, but you're really good at what you do, and I really appreciate you. So, yes, you made my first T-shirts, and one of your friends actually introduced you that I did her windows, and then she introduced me to you because I told her I was trying to get some professional T-shirts because I was just wearing regular T-shirts when I first started because, I mean, I couldn't afford T-shirts, and you gave me a really good price and helped me. My sister made my logo, and then you just helped design everything. I think we was able to do it like super cheap, and I still have those red T-shirts, and they hold up very well. They've held up better than any other shirts that I've had, but they're just regular T-shirts. Now I have the collared shirt with just our logo and stuff, and it was a totally different logo then than what our logo is now. But yeah, thank you so much for everything you do. She's been holding the fort down for like 3 weeks now, I feel like, because my back's been jacked up. Then I went on vacation, and her and Robert just really held it down. I haven't been to work in 3 weeks, and my business was still able to function, all thanks to my team. I really appreciate them. And Melissa she knows what to do, and very rarely did she have to call me and ask me any questions while I was gone. So it was really cool that she could just take over like that. So before we get too far into some of our topics tonight, I do want to show you what we have on giveaway tonight. All thanks to Window Magic Supply. So I'm going to pull this video up for you real quick just so you guys can see exactly what we have.
Tonight's giveaway products are all thanks to Window Magic Supply. We want to thank you so much for supporting this channel and giving other window cleaners a chance to try these products before they buy them, or just try them out and give us your feedback. So we want to thank Window Magic Supply so much. They're located in San Diego, California, and you can reach them at 760-233-5909, and you can ask for Randy, and you can get 10% off of your order by mentioning this show. So I just want to walk through the products that they've given us to give away tonight. We have the Wagtail Hip Dipper. We have the 16-inch Viper from Sorbo with the handle, and it comes with a pack of rubbers. We have the 6-inch Maker Handy Sleeve. We have the Wagtail Wave. We have the 14-inch Black Series Unger T-Bar with sleeve. And then we have a 14-inch pack of green rubbers. We have the small Maker Products giveaway here, and we're giving away a 14-inch handy sleeve with a 14-inch Hedgehog, Scotsman, and Python, and that comes with the bronze wool ends. And then also we have the 3-lock clip belt by Maker Products, and then we have the Ed-A-Ray Contour Pro squeegee handle with the Ed-A-Ray Super Channel that we're giving away as well. And we still have the California Dream pole here It's an 8-footer. And with every giveaway, we're giving away Squeegee Life towels. And just as a reminder, once again, I am doing a review for a silencer, so you want to make sure to stay tuned to that, because I'm going to be giving away 2 silencers during that review. One from Window Cleaning Resource, so we want to give them a shout out and say thank you. And then this is going to be from me personally that I came out of my pocket for. Now, we also have something else going on right now. It's only going to be going on for a couple more weeks. Just trying to give everybody a chance to win this. This is the Joshua the Window Cleaner kit. So it comes with a Unger sprayer on a belt, a pack of Squeegee Life towels. It comes with the Quicksilver 14-inch with the 30-degree Unger Ninja handle. It comes with the Mowerman side kit bag, the Unger Ninja hip bucket on a belt. It comes with the Maker Products 3-lock clip belt. Comes with a 6-inch handy sleeve, 18-inch red, white, and blue Sorbo channel with the 40-degree Unger Ninja handle. We have the Unger Ninja T-bar, 18-inch with the 18-inch golden glove from Ettore. And then we have the 6-inch Unger blade with the holster. And then, of course, it comes with a bucket, a black and blue bucket with a lid. So how do you win this? Big question. You want to make sure to email me at joshuathewindowcleaner@gmail.com, and you want to tell me your window cleaning story. That is how you win. So if you want to win, email me at joshuathewindowcleaner@gmail.com and let me know your window cleaning story. And that's how you win. Whoever has the best story is going to win. I'm going to read the stories over the next few weeks. I'll be probably closing the opportunity to win in the next couple weeks, and then we're going to start reading them, and we'll vote on who has the best story and who should get this out of all the main people that are on the show. You know who you are. But yeah, special thanks to you for everything that you do, for all those people that come onto the show every week. Thank you so much. And we're going to get back to the show. I just wanted to show you guys what we had to give away. So thank you so much. See you in just a second.
All right, everybody. So that's all the giveaway tools. And if you've seen the coffee mug right there, Melissa actually made that coffee mug too. She does stuff like that. And she doesn't want to do like a million of them at a time. So if y'all do want something like that, give Melissa a shout, because she's really good at what she does. But she likes to do them in like smaller quantities. Like what? Like you like to do like 5 to 10 of them at a time or something like that?
I've actually done a bulk as much as 36, but that takes me almost all day to do.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're really good at what you do. And so if you're just needing like 10 or something like that, definitely holler at Melissa. If you need like a million, Melissa can probably direct you where to go to get like a million of them. But yeah, I just need a few t-shirts. And sometimes, if you try to go to the people that make t-shirts, they want you to order a whole bunch of them to get a good deal and stuff. And it was just cheaper for me to go through Melissa. I don't even remember how much I spent, but I know I had collared shirts, I had regular t-shirts, for me and my helpers at the time. And so, and it was a really good price. And so it really helped me out. Now let's jump into these topics real quick. And then after these topics, I'm going to ask you a question. And that's how you're going to be able to win tonight's giveaway night. How we do it is we'll draw from the cup, and you will win one of the items that was just shown on the video before this. So I'm going to ask the questions, and these questions are mainly from Sean, and he's on the show all the time. He's probably the first one that gets on all the time. And so most of these questions are from Sean, but some of them are from the other guys in the group. And so we're just going to go ahead and go through these, and I'm going to read the question, and then Melissa can answer them. And I've read through these a little bit, but she's actually spent time and made sure she answered them right and all that. So it's going to be cool to hear those answers, because I didn't really read too much of her answer. I just want to see what her perspective is. So this is going to kind of be new for me too. So the first question that Sean had is, how do we handle disgruntled and odd customers? So Melissa, take it away.
I think when we first brought this up in the chat, I first and foremost would always want to remain calm, collected, and neutral in these situations, because if we allow the customer to explain their side of the story, even if they may be upset, at least we'll be able to give them that time and it gets their point across first without us having to cut them off. And if we were to cut them off, we're not providing quality customer service to understand their needs and concerns. And second, when it does permit, respond with care and offer a genuine solution or a remedy to the situation. Because most of the times, our customers want to be heard. They want to get their concerns off their chest. They want to let you know how they're feeling. But then we have to offer a legitimate solution to their concern. And so rarely do we encounter any of these customers that we can't please, but you can't please everyone. And we always try our best to put forth that effort into making things right.
Yeah, and just giving the customer, like you said, a chance to hear them out, especially when they're upset. Sometimes they just want somebody to listen. They don't want you to fix the problem right away. They just want you to listen. And that's another reason, kind of why we will call the customer as soon as we get done with the job. I have Melissa reach out to them or reach out to them the next day if she's already off the clock. And she'll call them and say, hey, how did everything go? Like, how was your experience with Robert or Joshua or whatever? That way, if there was something, they can tell Melissa, because they might not feel comfortable telling me. They might not feel comfortable telling Robert, but they might feel comfortable telling Melissa. So we get that one more chance to say, hey, and we always let the customer know too, and whenever we're leaving, like, hey, look, we're customers. We're human beings and we make mistakes. And, if you see anything that we, missed or anything like that, we left something on the window or something like that, please just give us a call. No need for you to do that. You've already paid for the service. So just give us a call and we'll come back out and make it right. And normally they love that. Like, everybody loves that. But there are some people you cannot please. And, I've had to basically fire customers sometimes because they want to be too rude and they're not understanding on my end. Sometimes, mainly it's like price. Like, if we have to break up with a customer, a lot of times it's because the price is not in their budget. And, it used to be, and I used to be a lot cheaper, and now we got to go up with our prices. And we'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end. I think there's a question in there for that. So I'm going to jump into the next question. So how do we, I think Sean asked this, how do we handle non-paying customers? So take it away, Melissa.
I've worked for Josh for almost a year, and there has been 0 customers that have not paid. They're aware of when we need payment, and most of the time it's always after the job is complete. There may have been times when one of the customers, either the check bounced and we have to follow up with them about it, or they have to wait until the day after to pay us. Most of the time, we always get paid right after a job, but there's going to be those instances where you have to figure out how to deal with it after. And good thing for us, we haven't run into many of those. But if we really needed to chase someone for a payment, we're not afraid to do so.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I'm gonna get paid, because I have a lot to pay for, and it's a little bit different situation. But when I first started my business, I did run into people that didn't want to pay, and let me tell you the best thing to say to them. The best thing to say to them is that, okay, well, look, I have reached out to you a few times, and even if you're texting, they're not responding, or hey, I've reached out to you a few times. I just want to let you know that I am gonna have to send this to collections, because that's just the way we process everything. So. Unfortunately, you weren't able to pay. We did the service. We hope that, you were happy with the service. If you're not, please contact us so we can make it right. But, we're going to have to send this to collections, and it's no longer going to be our problem anymore. And so when we send this collections, it's going to go on your credit. And so it could ruin your credit, and so you can kind of hint that in there. It does cost money, by the way, if you really do that and like follow through with that and send it to collections, you have to pay for that. But sometimes you can get a little bit of the money back, but most of the time you're pretty much just giving their information out, and they're going to call and bug them, and they're going to get to keep the money. So that's typically how that pans out. But now we have everything in place where we're like, nope, payments due upon a completion, and if it's not, then we need to know that. We need to know, like, we do have property managers. Some of them, we don't do this very often, just the ones that I really like working with. we'll wait 30 days for a check or something, but most of the time those are really smaller jobs. I don't want to do that for a bigger job. I always try to tell them, if we got to wait 30 days, let's schedule it in 30 days when the check is there and it's ready and we can pick it up that day. Because I need to pay for that labor that day, and that's just how my money flow goes. I need money coming in every single day. And so we kind of stress that to the customer, and we give them plenty of opportunities. We have Venmo, credit card, check. We'll come by and swing by and pick up a check. You can mail us a check. You want to be able to have all those options. But I tell you what, if somebody's not messaging me back after I just cleaned their windows and they're telling me they can't pay me today or something, there's going to be a problem, and I'm going to be blowing them up, and they're probably not going to like me at all after it's all said and done. And I'm going to be nice the whole time, but I'm going to drive them crazy until they pay me. And then sometimes, if it's a small amount or something, like sometimes you just got to let it go. But that's why I don't like doing big jobs without them paying up front, or paying like right the day it's due, or tell me like, hey, I'll be able to pay you a week after this or something. But normally if they say 30 days, we're like, okay, well, we're going to schedule it in 30 days. That way the check will be ready as soon as we get finished, because we need to get paid. Because sometimes, if you think about it, if you have somebody checking your work a week after you already cleaned the windows, there's going to be bird poop on there. There's going to be bugs. There's going to be all that stuff on there. And so then they're like, oh, well, you didn't do a good job. And you're like, you're checking my work a week later. Like, your window's going to keep getting dirty. That's just how it is. And so, you got to, there's a fine line in there when somebody's trying to abuse you and stuff like that. So just be prepared for that, especially if you're just getting started with your business. You're going to run into that all the time until you get processes and in place. And the thing is when you jack your price up, and you have to, because of your employees and everything like that, the customer base that comes along with that is just fine. They all pay you, and so mainly it's the cheaper people that don't want to pay. It's super sad that it's that way, but you'll give somebody a killer deal and then they won't pay you, and so you got to get up there where the people call and know it's a luxury service. They have money to pay for it and all of that. So you got to focus on that whenever you're thinking about your future of your business. Don't always go for the cheaper customers, because those will be the ones that stick you, because they're sticker. They're it's just window cleaning to them. They don't care if you come back. They got it cleaned once, haha. And so you got to kind of put that into perspective too. It's just window cleaning at the end of the day. I mean, we see it as a big deal. We put a lot of work and heart into it and passion, and we're out there grinding. We got all of our cool tools, and we're spending money on our equipment. We take pride in what we do. We got insurance. We got all this stuff. But to them, a lot of times, the cheaper customer, it's just window cleaning. But you got somebody that wants to pay that price, it doesn't matter. They're going to pay it because they respect you. They respect your business, and so that's why we don't run into that problem. That's why Melissa hasn't run into that problem since the whole time we. Now, we have run into a couple of customers that didn't pay when they knew they were supposed to pay, and it wasn't very pretty, and I almost lost those customers, but they paid. You best believe they paid. I don't play about that. Like, I need to get paid. This is, you're talking about the families of my employees now and all this. Like, it ain't just me now. I have a work family, and I have to take care of them too. And so when they don't pay me, it's taking food off of everybody's plate. And then I'm the one responsible for that. And so I have to reach out to them, because it does get to that point. I try to let Melissa handle it because I want her to have that experience. But at the same time, there's a point where it's like, nope, I got to step in, and I got to say this, and I got to do this. And if they don't want to move forward from there, then okay, bye-bye. I'll send it to collections or whatever, But that's how we would handle it. I know E-Man was actually asking this in a window cleaning group on Facebook. And so I'm so glad that we actually covered this topic, because it's way too much to say, because it depends on the situation, depends on the customer, and depends on all that. Way too much to say in like a text. So I'm really glad that we got to cover this question. So the next question we're going to talk about is how we maintain our physical and mental health. So take it away, Melissa.
When you're working with a team, I think that when there's a balance to everything, no one is going to completely burn out. And so I, manage everything that happens with scheduling and talking to customers and things like that. And then as far as our field technicians, it's more of a physical demanding kind of job. And so taking care of yourself is always going to benefit you, because if you're not feeling good, then you can't give your best to not only your job, but you can't do it to your family. And then you're just, not having that balance is going to be detrimental, essentially. So for us, I actually go to the chiropractor about once a month. I probably should go more than that, just because I'm sitting in front of the computer. Although I am trying to also juggle running around with a 1-year-old, so that's my physical activity. But Josh and Robert have a different kind of physical health to maintain because they're outside, they're in the heat. Summer's kind of dwindling down where we are in Southern California, but it's still pretty hot outside, and so that's just something they're gonna have to go through. And the quicker they go, then the faster they're not going to be out in the sun. But I know Josh goes to, his chiropractor appointments a couple times a month, and that's his way of trying to maintain his health as well too. Because if we need help one day, we all rely on each other, and so if we're all just kind of putting the load on one person, it kind of gets us in a kink, and so we try taking care of ourselves.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can totally agree with you on that. And I will go to the chiropractor as many times as I possibly can. I do trading on the chiropractor stuff. I'm always trying to figure out a better way to change my diet slowly, because changing my diet all at one time is a little bit too drastic for me. I mean, I grew up in the South, so I'm used to, like, good food is good food, and now that I'm out here, good food is not good food. It's bad for you. And like, I'm like, what? So I'm trying to change my diet, and I've started drinking this Plexus every morning. It's like a bunch of vitamins and stuff in it, and I drink it every morning. And then I literally eat the same thing every morning. I eat yogurt, fruit, and granola every morning. That just kind of gets me going, and that's super healthy. And then lunchtime, I try not to eat something super heavy. I mean, I used to eat cheeseburgers and burritos and all kinds of stuff. But my wife has been making our lunches, so we eat apples, carrots, sandwiches. Today we had 2 chicken sandwiches. We had 2 peanut butter and jellies in case we worked late, and we had apples, carrots, grapes. Sometimes we have strawberries and almonds. All that stuff. What you feed yourself is going to be your physical and your mental. And us working out in the heat, we're having to constantly be on each other, like, to be cautious about time, because when you're out there grinding and you're on a window, you don't think about drinking a bottle of water, but carry it around with you. And every time you see it, or every time you get a kink in your hose, or whatever is going on out there, take a swig of the water, take a swig of the water. Just keep trying to drink as much as you can. I normally try to drink, I have these huge core bottles like this, and I normally try to drink 2 to 4 bottles of water, like, just in an 8-hour period, depending on how hot it is. But there's a lot of different things you can do. And I know Robert, he's luckily, so he got T-boned. I know y'all know about that. And luckily he's talking to his lawyer and everything, and he's going to oxygen chamber, a whole bunch, and chiropractor, and doing all these things because he was in that wreck. But he was off the clock. But I told him he didn't even want to go to the hospital that day, but he felt like crap the next day. In that moment, you don't feel that way. So always go to the hospital. If you have a record, you have your employee has a record, anything happens to your employee, have them go to the hospital, because you want to document everything. That can be a huge liability on you. So make sure you do that. And then you also want to be their friend as well, and be like, hey, look, here's an attorney, call him, go to the hospital, do what you need to do, get your appointment scheduled, go to these appointments. It's super important. And he was going to the chiropractor, wasn't helping a whole lot. Now he's going to the oxygen chamber, and he was telling me today that it's actually helping him a lot. And he's starting to feel better mentally as well. So it's super important to maintain that physical and mental health. And when you don't, your body will literally protest, and you will be in the bed like I was for 2 weeks with your neck and back jacked up, and then I'm feeling bad the whole time because my employees are having to pick up that slack, like Melissa said. But it's good to know that they can, but you have to do all these little things. It's a maintenance. It's like going and getting your car serviced. You got to service your body as well, and don't put crap oil in your car, or your car's going to run like crap. So you feed yourself crap, you're going to run like crap too. But yeah, so it's super important to do that. And I know we all try to encourage each other as well. And I think that's what I see on my list every single day. Melissa has put it in our calendar to take care of yourself. So that's the first thing that it says in the morning time when we look at our calendar. It says take care of yourself, or it does on mine. It pops up on mine, a notification. So that's really cool. So I'm going to jump into the next question. We're not running too late, so we're about halfway through the questions. Our approach to rainy days. So what do we do during a rainy day? Take it away.
During a rainy day, we still offer to take care of the windows for them. I think it's funny when Josh actually explained it to me, and he said, "Well, it doesn't rain inside your home," and it's true. We can still take care of those windows, and then when the rain has passed, we'll come back and touch it up. And like you said, it's usually a quicker time to clean them because we've already cleaned them. And to touch them up if needed, then we can go out and take care of that for them. But let's just say, our customer happens to get their windows cleaned, and then say within 10 days it happens to rain on one of those days, we'll actually honor that and we'll come back and do a touch up on, say, whichever windows that they need to be touched up. And so that's kind of how we approach rainy days, because it's it's easier for us to take care of the majority of the house and come back to touch up versus trying to reschedule them and pushing them way out again because there's already so many other people booked up in our schedule.
Yep. Nope. You're totally right, and that's what happens. And then everything gets backed up, and you're behind, and then you're not making money, and yeah, because you're already behind. And especially like if when you do have employees, if you promise them 8 hours legally in California, you got to give them 4. So if somebody cancels on you that day because of rain, it can mess you up. And so you always kind of want to have a few of those commercial jobs that you're supposed to do monthly or weekly that you have in your back pocket as well for those rainy days, because we'll do that too, especially like we're headed to the job and they're like still iffy, yes or no, and then it just starts pouring rain. We have, a few that we will go and do to make up for those 4 hours that I've got to pay anyways, and so that's super cool thing to do is to have those in your back pocket. And then also too, typically you don't have that problem. People are not going to typically call you about your rain day warranty, but the cheaper guy will call you 15 days later and tell you that it's been 10 days and you'll have to argue with them and stuff. So like I said, your customer base is super important. You might not be able to just jack your prices up right off the bat if you just started your business, but work your way up towards that. Have that as your goal. I need to reach this clientele. I want to be known as the more expensive guy that does a quality job, because I promise you don't want to be the cheap guy. That's really annoying. The cheap guy, everybody's annoyed at the cheap guy because he's doing a crappy job. He makes our industry look bad. Some people will literally label every window cleaning company as that guy, and so it's not worth it. I see people doing a 30-day rain warranty, and I'm thinking, what are you going to do if you got five buildings that you got to clean and it starts raining 30 days after you did it? And they call you and they say, well, you have a 30-day rain warranty. Are you going to go back out and do them, or are you going to hang up the phone and probably never talk to them again? Because that's probably what most people are going to do. That's why we do a 10-day rain warranty. I think 30 days is pushing it. I mean, maybe in California, but I don't know anywhere where it doesn't rain within 30 days. And so people will abuse that. But I've seen people use that as a sales tactic, and it's just like, okay, like do what you do, but you're going to learn that that's not probably the right thing to do. But I'd say a week and a half, like that's fair. Like if it rains within a week and a half and it jacks your windows up, all we got to do is clean the outside. It's not like we're scrubbing bird poop off and bug guts and stuff like that off the windows. It's just going to be a nice, easy clean. So we don't mind doing that, and we will tell them like, hey, like we can come out and do the inside windows. Then we'll see what the rain's doing, if we can do the outside, or we can reschedule for the outside. The outside takes the least amount of time. It's the tracks and the inside windows that take forever. So we normally try to go ahead and get in there. But you do have those customers that are not taking that for an answer. They're like, nope, I'm not. Don't want you to come out. It's raining, and you just got to let it go and have those commercials in your back pocket. So that's what we do for our rainy days, what we've learned so far. So the next question is, our strategies to keep busy during the winter. Take it away, Melissa.
I actually started working for Josh in the wintertime, so it was kind of an eye opener on how he strategized it. Um, and for the most part, we tried keeping our pricing the same as what we were charging, and we would only run specials or have winter rates if we absolutely needed to. And so I think that would be a good strategy to have, a good marketing tactic, in case you are trying to look for more work. So it's definitely like a plan B, but I think overall we tried just keeping our prices the same throughout.
Yeah, for sure. And then, too, it's a really good time to follow up. Even if people are like, why are you following up? It's raining outside. Just call and check on people. It's a good time to call and check on your prior clients, see how they're doing. It keeps you top of mind. I don't recommend spending money on ads. Don't do it. Um, I have taken a risk 2 winters in a row and hired. I don't really recommend it because it's tough. Like when you're slow and you hire, it's like, how are we gonna make it? But both years I was able to do it, but it's a grind. You even though you're slow, you're more busy than ever because you're trying to play catch up from everything you wanted to do during the summertime, and you just can't because every time you look in the schedule, you're like 2 months booked out and you can't even turn around without somebody calling and wanting you to do it right now. But in the wintertime, it's not like that. You don't have people calling that often. I mean, people still call. And I've heard that after about 5 years, which is where I'm at now, that it starts getting actually busy during the wintertime because you've done built up all that clientele and they just keep calling because there are houses that need to get their windows cleaned year round. So there are clients out there that you can get, and normally, you can market to those that you had last year and the year before that. Contact those people that you. If December is a bad month for you, call the people that you already cleaned the windows in December the past 4 years, or or call people that you know will get them done. Even go to storefronts. I had to do pizza places and places. I wasn't making much money, but I tell you what, some money is better than no money. And so you can go out there and you're making $65, but you made $65. And so sometimes you have to bite your tongue and be like, you know what, I'll just have to go up here and I'm gonna have to get whatever I can for this because we need some kind of money coming in, and then come up with rates, different rates, have packages, package deals like I can do your solar panels, your windows, and all your screens, and we'll give you this huge discount. But you definitely want to have some kind of rate because other companies are doing it, and we seen it last year. We tried to keep our prices and it was a little bit hard, and we had to go down our prices for just a few months just to stay alive because we were the most expensive at that time, and it's like that's a good thing during the summertime, but during the wintertime, when everybody's trying to buy Christmas presents and all that, everybody's trying to get the cheapest guy, and so you do have to go down on those rates sometimes just to stay afloat, and I don't mind doing that. But best believe when March comes back around, when we're starting to get busy again, I'm going right back up on my price because the demand is higher. When the demand is low, I can lower my price a little bit to stay alive, and to be competitive, but I don't have to be competitive during the summertime. We have too many people calling. We really need to like filter them out during that. And so jacking our price up is just what we have to do, and we still booking 2 months out no matter what our price is. So it's just like that's great, but we're still fair though. We're not. I wouldn't consider. Some people say we're the most expensive, but I know who's the most expensive, and we're not. We're a couple dollars cheaper than the most expensive. So I feel like we're definitely fair, and I know what we pay for it. Melissa knows what we pay for it, and it's just like every time I turn around, it's like 500, 600, 1,000, 1,500, 2,500, coming out, just like that, just money coming out the account, and so you got to be ready for that. Payroll every week. I jump for joy when it's $2,000 a week. Like I'm like, yes, nobody hardly worked. It's $2,000. But when it's like 4,000, you better hope you made 7,000, 8,000 that week. But that's just part of being a business owner, and you got to realize that that's what it's going to come to that if you get employees and stuff. And it's more important to me that they get paid than anything else. Before I get paid, they get paid. I don't care if I got to come out and do whatever I need to do at this job, and then tell Rob to go home and take a few hours. I don't know what else I can do. Sometimes I have to go out there and grind to make sure that they get paid, but that's my priority. And you got to be like that. You got to be willing to give yourself to your employees because it don't work like it does in the movies. Some people think it's just you can walk around point fingers and stuff. That nobody wants to work for anybody like that, especially these days. So you got to have some kind of relationship. You got to be kind of cool, but at the same time, you got to be a boss. And at the end of the day, there are times where me and Melissa talk and we're like, hey, like we got to come together and let's figure this out. And same thing with me and Rob. Like we got to come together and figure this out. But I'm never like mean, you know what I mean? Like I've never hollering, screaming, and cussing at nobody. I'm just like, hey, like we got to figure this out because this ain't working. And it's normally small things that we can just be like, hey, write this down. So let's try this and see if this works. Because we just forget sometimes. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And that expectation of your employees is huge. And so keeping them in the wintertime is important, but it's hard. And we might be hiring again this year for December. If I find somebody, I'll probably hire them because you got the time to spend on training then too. You have your jobs that are regulars, and it's real easy to teach them water fed pole and traditional because you got more time. And so do those things during your slow season. It might not always be in the winter. The winter is for us. I know people that are busy in the winter, like people in Florida are busy in the winter and slower in the summer. So it just depends on where you're located. But those are the things that I would recommend. Don't spend money on ads though. That's not smart. Like don't spend money on ads. Like don't even really try to spend money. Like try not to spend money unless you have to, like payroll and stuff like that. Now let's see what the next question is. Let's see. How we balance work and family.
I personally think that one of the benefits is that we are able to take weekends off. Most of the time, we do take Saturdays and Sundays off to spend with our family. And we try closing around like the 5, 6 o'clock time. That way we can spend our evenings with our family as well. Like I said, the only time we really do work on weekends would be to either do a touch up or someone we needed to reschedule during the week, something, or if the job is worth it for us to go out and work on a weekend. Um, but overall, we do have the weekends off, and I think that's how we kind of balance everything. We give 100% during the week, and then we can take that time and spend those 2 days like any normal job, essentially. Having those weekends off, and then spending time with our family. It allowed me to spend every evening bonding with my husband and son all the weekends. It's great for me, and I'm glad that we're able to uh, implement that kind of schedule in our company because Josh values those times for our employees, and he'll soon have that opportunity too when his son is born. So he completely understands, and that's always so beneficial too to have a boss that understands those needs of a family.
For sure, and I'm excited that my son is on the way, and I think I want to get some T-shirts made that say I'm going to hang out with my wife because the more I watch my show, because I do watch my own show, by the way, because I'm always checking myself and seeing what I'm saying and making sure I'm on point and seeing also what I've learned. Because sometimes I'm watching my videos and I'm like, dang, I learned something new the other day, and that it doesn't even apply anymore. So, I'm not perfect or anything like that, but I do value my time with my wife, and I think that's super important. I don't have any children right now, but I got a son on the way, and me spending time with my wife is so important. Like that's the number one thing. That's more important than this channel. It's more important than window cleaning to me. It's more important than anything besides Jesus, and that is the number one. And then number two is my wife, and number three is the labor that I put into to protect my family, to bring money to the table, bring food into the house, and be able to help people because we help a lot of people, but we don't try to blast that we help people. It's not about that. We if we can help people, we will. But sometimes we're not able to. But we're saving right now. I'm trying to save right now for what we did last year on Thanksgiving. Melissa had this great idea. We were supposed to give it to one family, ended up giving it to multiple families, but I couldn't pick one. That was hard.
It was
That was
awesome.
yeah, that was hard. That was hard. I was reading all the family because we were like, the saddest story pretty much wins a Thanksgiving dinner, and everybody's sad story. I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have to give everybody food. I'm gonna go broke, but everybody's got to eat. This is sad. They way in worse shape than me, and so we're gonna figure out another way to do it this year. but but we do like giving back to the community. It's all about the community. It's not all about becoming rich and all that. That's not why I'm doing all this. I just want to provide for my family and provide for my employees and let them be able to provide for their family. And let's just do it together as a team and enjoy our time here, Um, so we're going to jump into our next topic. It's about COVID. So I don't really like to talk about COVID a whole lot because things change so often. But it was asked, so we are going to talk about what we are doing right now. But that could change. So all of this we're talking about right now might change. You never know what's going on in the world. So, make sure you check the date on this and, so on and so forth when you're watching this. Because it might not apply for right now. But this is what we're doing right now because of our workers' comp, our, everything. So Melissa is going to take it away and she's going to tell you what we do because she knows exactly what we do. So COVID safety and safety on the job sites. Take it away.
We actually have a safety team that we get through our HR, and they regularly inform us on safety precautions, on how to properly handle equipment and tools on the job site. They also encourage us to, do trainings, to do everything, that's safe, essentially, because that could essentially turn into a liability, and we don't want to have to deal with that. We want to make sure we're practicing everything safely. And then they also keep us updated with any regulations that help us practice safe environments according to the CDC. And it helps protect not only our clients, but it protects us as well. And so, and then to tie that in, we started recently using Marquette, and it's been a huge help, not only for my sanity some days, but it's been a huge help because the way we set it up, we actually include our terms and agreements in it, and what our policy is as far as COVID that releases the company of any liability, because it helps protect us. And so the statement that we include in this waiver is that the customer voluntarily seeks services provided by, and then you could put your company name, and they acknowledge that they are increasing their risk to exposure to COVID-19 by seeking it out. Not saying that we have COVID, but with anything, going to the grocery store, going to the gas station, going anywhere else, there's always a possibility of getting that exposure, whether it's from a company or you venturing out to do whatever you need, running your own errands and whatnot. The possibility is 100% if, you're putting yourself out there, but that's just what we wanted to include in that waiver because it helps relieve our company from any liability. And I think that's a protective and a preventative standpoint for any business owner, to be honest.
Yeah, because we have customers of all kinds of mindsets and political views and all that. We don't discriminate. Like, if you got money to clean your windows, we will come and clean them. But please don't be a douchebag. That's pretty much all we request. Like, we just want,
I
just
can't
please,
put
just
that in the terms and agreement.
yeah, we should. But no, with everything going on, it's super smart to have this stuff going on, and I know some people think that we're over the top, and some people will probably think that we're not doing enough, and that's just part of it. We're doing everything that we think that we can possibly. We have our safety team has came out to the job site even after us wearing masks and just checked everything out, making sure we're doing everything right. And he's a part of our team too. Bobby is our safety team leader, and they do a fantastic job for us. BBSI has just been a huge blessing for my company for sure, and they've been rocking with me for a while now, and they really help me. And we have quarterly meetings and so on and so forth. But they handle the COVID stuff, and they send me emails just about every single day with new updates regarding the CDC, regarding what's going on with masks, like regarding all the mandates and what we're supposed to be doing and what we can and can't do, and the equipment we're supposed to have on hand, and the kind of sanitizer we're supposed to. All of that is in there, and so having all of that has just been a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because I can't keep up with it along with everything else. And everybody, all my clients, they think that I'm just free all the time and I can just talk to them. But I'm like, I'm really genuinely doing stuff. And so, with this COVID-19 thing, it's been a super stressor for us. We lost a lot of customers. We reevaluated. We still grew 100% during COVID. It's been a stressor this year to see if what are they going to do? They're going to close back down or whatever. But thank God that we're essential, I guess, but we're still legit and we try to be legit as we possibly can. And thank you, God, that nobody has gotten sick. We're going in and out of houses. Even after they've had it, and we can't do much about it. Sometimes they'll tell us, no, we haven't had COVID. And then we get there, oh, we had it last week, and it's like, what? And so then we're having to take extra precautions. We're having to, go like, we all three have certification in COVID-19. Well, actually, all four of us, because Sierra does too. All four of us have training in COVID-19. We have a certificate that literally we are trained to be on a job site with COVID, dealing with it and all that. And there's literally a certificate and that we all have, and we got it as soon as it was available. I wanted us all to take it, and it helps us be smarter on the job too. Like know what where my hands are, what I'm touching, and hand sanitizer where it should be, and just there's a lot that goes into what we do, and it's kind of like tapered into my personal life as well because I'm like constantly washing my hands stay dry. I have to constantly put hand lotion on my hands because my hands are drying out from washing my hands too much. But it's just like what I've been used to doing the past couple of years, and we got used to wearing masks, and it's just been crazy. But now I'm hearing from my safety guy that some of the masks actually have pathogens in it, and so there's like a whole nother road that we might be going down about masks being a huge bad thing. But then you got people that are probably going to think it's a good thing, and so it's just going to be a battle, and we're kind of stuck in the middle of it because we just want to provide a good service and do the right thing. And so, we're just kind of riding this ride, and doing what our safety team is telling us to do. And just, that's all you really can do about this COVID stuff. So as you grow your business, definitely look into getting you a good HR that will have a safety team, even if it's not for COVID in the future. I had a safety team before. He would come out and check our ladders and, make sure we're using our ladders properly, make sure we have all of our ladder certifications and, all that, make sure we're, because he'll remind you if it's been a year, he's like, or getting close to a year and you ain't done your ladder certification for the year, he's emailing, hey, you need to take this test. Hey, you need to do this. And if anything else comes up, I always tell him, send it to me. See anything about roofs or any kind of certifications that we can get, send it to me. We can take those tests. We can get educated on them. We're getting educated on boom lifts and all kinds of stuff. He always has that information. If I ever have any questions on any of that safety training stuff, I can just call, and it's super easy to be able to get that good information because you're not always going to get that from the internet. So, all right. So that's all we're going to talk about COVID. I don't want to talk about COVID no more. But the next question we had was our logo design and branding. And so I'll kind of answer this one. Our logo is an elephant. I originally had an older elephant with squeegee in his trunk. That was my logo. And as time went on, I wanted something more crisp, clean, and professional. And I reached out to a graphic designer and had them design me a couple designs and pay them. And I didn't like the first couple. But when they sent me my logo now, I knew that was the logo. And I said that was exactly what I wanted. Because as they were sending me ideas, I was kind of like cleaning it up for them. Like, hey, the first one they sent, for instance, was kind of like a fatter elephant just sitting there, with suspenders on with mop and squeegee. And I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be fat. Maybe we should do like, kind of like Dumbo, but Disney, but not, And so, but when I seen my logo that I have now, I knew. I was like, that's the logo. That is it. That's exactly what I want. I wanted bubbles coming out of his trunk because eventually I want to get a bubble machine and have an elephant that has bubbles coming out of it on top of the truck. And that's going to be a marketing plan that I have in the future, but I ain't got that far yet. I got to figure out how to get the bubble machine to be an elephant and like a lot. But in the future, maybe when I'm like a franchise, that's kind of what I want to be known for. It's the van with the bubbles, because kids will love that. It'll be cool when you go to a house full of kids, they'll be able to see all the bubbles, and from their clean window, they can watch the bubble truck leave, and So to just be an experience, because a lot of window cleaning is the experience. Customers want that experience, and so I wanted to create that through the logo. So when you look at that logo, I wanted you to think it's crisp, clean, but it looks fun. And then also their reviews that speak for themselves. Our work speaks for itself. The service that we provide speaks for itself, and so on and so forth. So when you look at the logo, it represents your business. And so when you're planning out your logo, you don't always have to have like a mop and squeegee, or, I see a lot of logos with people with hand and a squeegee. And it's like, okay, that's great. But if you don't do something different, because I plan to do stuff bigger than that, like I don't want it to just be just window clean, because we do screen repair too, and we can do your solar panels too. And we kind of not want to be a jack of all trades by no means. We only have like a few services that we provide, but those services we provide, we want to package you in on that. And we don't only do window cleaning, we can do screen repair. So we're Positive Enterprises. So it's not even like Temecula window cleaning or Winchester window cleaning. It's Positive Enterprises. So we're going to bring a positive experience with a clear view, and yes, we're going to clean your windows. We want to, but sometimes we just go in and do screen doors. Sometimes we just go do screens. Sometimes we just go do solar panels. So, having that name like that you can kind of toss around like that is really good, because specific is terrific for sure. But when you're first starting out, like I said, I was a handyman. So Positive Enterprises was a handyman service, and it became a window cleaning business because it wasn't like Joshua's handyman service, because then I'm stuck, But window cleaning just ended up being my niche. I think that the elephant represents a clean, professional company. A lot of people choose my company just because it's an elephant. I know a lot of people think that elephants bring good luck. I know the Chinese think that elephants bring good luck. They're a majestic animal. I love elephants. And then to top it all off, Roll Tide Roll, in Alabama, the mascot is an elephant, Big Al, for college football. And so that's another reason why I had to throw that in there, because obviously I have an Alabama accent. And so having that elephant in there, if you know about Alabama, then you know all about Big Al. So that is the story behind the logo, and just some tips in there. Hopefully that helps you. And now we got one more question, and then there's another question. I'm going to answer it, but it's going to be super quick because I don't really want to answer it. But the next question is pricing for residential and commercial in our prospective area, and how to address price increases. So, Melissa, I don't see an answer on here from you, but do you have something that you could answer that with?
I know that our pricing is always going to be different from different counties down to different states, or, from California to Florida. It's all going to be different. It just really depends on what your area, I would say, would determine your pricing. And the way we address price increases is really only to like prior customers. There's no reason for me to explain a price increase to a new customer that we're starting a service with. So the only time that we actually address the price increase is if, we've had repeat customers for 2, 3, 4 years, and we're trying to explain with them, in addition to now COVID, our insurance has gone up, like all these different things have gone up to take care of yet another thing as a business owner. And so all these expenses kind of play a role in that price increase. And so that's just something we have to sometimes explain to people. Most of the time we just say, oh, we actually had a price increase at such and such time of the year or whatever. Pretty vague, but to the point. But they understand, they're not going to say, oh, well, why? Can you explain it to me into further detail? Most of the time it's not like that. It's, we're just trying to explain to you that we've had a price increase, and this would be the price now. And we're still leaving it up to them whether they want to continue with the price or not. I mean, it's totally up to them. We're not going to force someone to get their windows cleaned. at the price that they're not comfortable with. So that's definitely just how we kind of address it. It's not so much um, a bad thing, I would think. It also depends on your area.
And a big thing here, and it's one thing I definitely have trained Melissa on is you definitely want to make sure that you let them know before you come out. Like when you're getting them in the schedule and stuff, like when they're calling and they're like, "Hey, it's been a while. I'm gonna go ahead and get scheduled." Because some people won't get in this. They won't be like, "No, I'm not. I'm not scheduling my window cleaning right now. I'll just call." And I'm like, "Okay, just know you have to wait a couple months when you call." But the big thing that you want to do is make sure that you let them know. But like when you're scheduling them, hey, just to let you know, I just looked on there and it looks like you got this many windows and your price was this much last time. Just to give you a heads up, our price has increased and it will be this amount next time. And as long as you're okay with that, I'll go ahead and book it. I'll put the price in there. And a lot of times they'll just, yeah, that's totally fine. I understand it's been a crazy year, like most time it's fine. But then you will have some people that will be like, well, why? And then you'll have people that'll call and be like, well, Ron down the street said you did it for $10 a window, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, if Ron called right now, our price is still going to be, it's since Ron got his windows cleaned, our prices increased. Unfortunately, we can't do it for any cheaper. Like, we can't. We have our price. If they We pretty much will give like a military, I mean a school teach, like if you work in the community, we'll give you like 5% off if you really ask for it and need it. But our price is already up there where 5% is not going to kill us. It'll help you out a little bit. But typically, like, most people don't ask for a discount because we're not the cheapest person. Now if you were the cheapest person, you're going to get discounted to death. Like I did it. I already been there. But don't be scared to tell people that your prices go up. People calling, and the demand is high. You're going to lose customers, and people might take it personal because you built a personal relationship with them. But you can't take it. This is business. There's business and personal. If you got a personal relationship with that person, then you should be giving them a deal anyways. You know what I'm saying? But maybe waive a fee or something, because that's what I do now. Like for people at my church, like sometimes I'll be like, okay, we'll waive the service fee, but I still got to charge you this much. And our service fee is only $50. So you're not saving that much. And a lot of times I'll be like, oh, I'll just pay the $50. It's no big deal, man. I was just seeing if you could, help me out. And I'm like, a lot of times I can't, buddy. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show up to that job that day because I don't know what I'm going to be doing or what I'm going to have to be doing. Sometimes I have to run over here because the customer's like, no, I need you to come now. And I got to leave and stop what I'm doing because they need it done right that second because they got their house for sale. They're in and out of their house, in and out from state to state. There's so many different situations. But don't be afraid to go up on your price. Like you're going to have to go up on your price. You're never going to grow your business. Like you're going to be stuck where you're at. You're going to be working every day by yourself or maybe with a helper, maybe not with a helper. But to grow your business, you got to go up on your price. That is like a priority. It should be your main focus. Is how to go up on your price. But let the customer know. Be honest with it. Don't be shady. Don't be that guy that shows up, does the windows, and oh yeah, your price went up. Like that's not cool. Because I've done that a few times, not trying to, but just being like, hey, your price is this, and they're like, what? Like it was this last time, and I'm like, what? Like nobody told you? And then I have to call Melissa and be like, hey, Melissa, like let's make sure that we're telling them because sometimes we forget, and if you forget, then a lot of times I have to eat that money, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm sorry, like we're gonna just stick to your regular price. We didn't tell you ahead of time. That's our bad, and then we honor that. Like that's part of it. We're gonna make mistakes. That's part of the business, part of being in life, and part of how we learn and write it down. And that's just how it goes. And so that's how we would handle price increases, and that would be for residential and commercial. Honestly, I mean, residentials are going to be a lot harder to deal with than commercial. A lot of times, if you go up on your commercial, you're going to lose that client. So be careful raising the commercial, but you can raise residential for sure because residential is not going to stop calling. But commercial, try to have a fair price. Try to be competitive because commercial is a lot less time. You don't have to deal with customers like a residential customer, so you can go down on your price a little bit with a commercial just to try to get in there and get the job because it's not going to take as long as a residential job will. So just keep that in mind too, that you kind of want to have your prices separate. You don't want to charge the same for residential that you do for commercial. That could hurt you. and you want to be competitive in that. You don't have to be too competitive in the residential because you got so many people calling, but you need to be very competitive in the commercial. You just won't get it because there it's the bottom line. Unless you've been recommended, like right now we're dealing with Storm Stadium. I'm pretty sure they're going to go with us. But we got recommended and referred to them, and we still gave them a good fair price, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go with us. But if the price was going to increase in the future, I'd be super scared to mention it to them, to be like, hey, the price is going up, on the commercial job, because you're talking about 835 windows. If you go up $1, it's $835, just $1 window going up. And so it's a big difference. But the last question here, I hope that answers the price increase question. But the last question here, I don't want to answer. So the question is YouTube channels. Who do we follow and not follow? And that is your deal. You out there, the viewer, you view whoever you view, and you follow whoever you follow. You can type in window cleaning. There's a whole bunch of people going to come up. I don't want to give anybody shout outs, and I also don't want to throw shade on nobody. There are some that I follow, but very, very few that I will follow on YouTube. Most of the time, I subscribe to the people that are already subscribed to me. Just even if they don't even have any videos, I'll just go and subscribe to them. Just because I want to see what my people are doing. The people that are watching my channel, I want to see what they're doing. If they post a video, I can go and like it or watch it. But I don't like to get in too much of the big wigs, I guess I would call them, the people that have just like a ridiculous amount of subscribers. Not to say there's anything wrong with that or anything wrong with them. I don't want to follow in nobody's footsteps. I just want to do my own thing, And so sometimes when I see somebody have a whole bunch of subscribers, I kind of will steer away from them. I like having the subscribers that just have a few subscribers. Like I'm cool with that. But anybody that's in the window cleaning industry that has under 1,000, a lot of times I will subscribe to them, because there's little tricks and trades that will be secretive that won't nobody know, and everybody's going to the big wigs to get all these secrets, and sometimes they're just in there at the mom and pop places. So that's why I don't really want to answer that question. I don't want to say YouTube channels. You'll see guests on the show, and I'll tell you, like, subscribe to them. They're cool. But I don't like to. I don't want to throw shade on nobody. There are some that I subscribe to, and I'm like, oh no, I'm unsubscribing because I just can't deal. But for the most part, like, there's not a whole lot going on in the window cleaning industry on YouTube, honestly. So not that I know of, but I try to just stay in my lane. I work every day with my business in some sort. I might not be out in the field, but I'm talking to Melissa, or I'm looking up stuff for grants and loans, or talking to my accountant. I'm lining things out. I'm always working or thinking about ideas that we can, make more money in the wintertime, or maybe we can do this. Let's try this, and I'll let Melissa know. Or maybe I've forgot something a long time ago, and now it came to me, and now I can, message Melissa. And we have a messenger thing. What we do is I can just send it in Messenger, and then when she clocks in, she can go through like a list of everything. That just works for us. But yeah, so that's all the questions that we have for tonight, and we've been on here for almost exactly an hour. So that's perfect timing. I'm going to go ahead and do the question for tonight. I'm going to do the drawing, and then we're going to get out of here and go spend time with our family. I'm going to go hang out with my wife. I'm telling you, I'm going to get a shirt made. It's going to be a Joshua Window Cleaner logo, and it's going to say, I'm going to spend time with my wife. And Melissa's going to be the one to make the shirt. So she's like, yep. So tonight's question, and I will put this and pin it in the messages on the side for you so you will know the question. The question is, what is the name of the towel that I give away with every giveaway product each week? So what is the name of the towel that I give away with every giveaway product each week? First one to answer right now in the comments, you will win. And you will win that towel. So you will win something. So let's see what product that you have. The products are from the video. I don't have them behind me, and it's not going to be like that anymore. I'm probably not going to have them behind me. I can't figure out a good spot for it. So I'm just going to make a video every week of all the products that we have. So let's see what we got. All right. Not looking. Let's see. This one's all balled up. Can't tell if it's a long one or not. Oh, it is a long one. finally, somebody wins the 16-inch Viper with a pack of rubbers. And it sat on the show so long that I went and bought my own 16-inch with a pack of rubbers because I wanted to try it out. And I do like the 18-inch better, but the 16-inch is just a little bit smaller for the little bit smaller window. So there it is, the 16-inch Viper with rubber. Can you see it? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But yeah, so congratulations, whoever you are. I'm sure that somebody answered that one quickly. That was a super easy one. I might as well have just been giving it away. But yeah, so thank y'all so much for watching, and thank you, Melissa, for all your time on here. We're just on here for a whole hour already, and we're gonna get on live. I think Melissa said she'll be able to get on live on Friday night, so we'll get on there. If you have any other questions for us, we would love to answer it. Again, that is my secretary, Melissa, and I own Positive Enterprises, and we do window cleaning, screen repair, solar panel cleaning, blind cleaning, and that's pretty much it. That's really all we like to do. But that's what we do, and that's been my business. And I hope y'all got some really good insight on my business tonight, and y'all got to see, firsthand from Melissa, what it's like working for me for a year and what all she's learned. I've been so impressed because, not all employees are going to turn out like Melissa, where it all clicks and makes sense, and they're just a great team member. It doesn't always work out like that. So, but you got to go through them. You keep burning through them. You'll get good people. And most of the time, there might be a client or a friend of a client or somebody that knows you that just kind of wants to come and work for you. So just keep your spirits up about that, and good luck to your business. And we will see you on the live show for any questions, and we will be answering. So we'll see y'all in just a few seconds. Peace out.